The fact that you're asking me a question, I'm getting goosebumps about it. No matter what, it makes you feel extremely proud of yourself, no matter where your career kind of heads out, because you've added value to your team at that point in time to win a world championship, right? I didn't sleep for 3 days straight, man. we didn't know how to kind of comprehend the feeling of being world champions. I don't play board games with him. I don't play cards with him. Outside of poker, we don't play cards at all. But I don't play Uno and all with him. The guy cheats all the time.
Oh no, man!
He's a cheater.
He's a snake, mate. He's a snake. He's undercover snake. He plays the nice guy, but
Yeah, he gets away with the nice guy.
Mate, winning a World Cup is like a dream come true for any cricketer. Myself, that's the one big goal that I have in my mind is to, leave this earth with a World Cup championship from a cricket perspective. And I wonder what that was like. What was it like winning a World Cup?
Well, the fact that you're asking me a question, I'm getting goosebumps about it.
Yeah, I know.
I don't think words can put into effect the emotion of it. I think words would fall short to do justice to the emotion of being a World Cup winner, man. It's the feeling that surpasses possibly everything, that you can feel as a cricketer. It's very much unlike scoring 100 or taking 8 wickets in a game. But it's also all of that, if you know what I mean.
Yeah.
It's not that, but it's also all of that. So it's quite complex, but it's the most amazing feeling on earth, and for me as an athlete, I think, simply because no matter what, it makes you feel extremely proud of yourself, no matter where your career kind of heads out, because you've added value to your team at that point in time to win a world championship, right? And you've played your part, and everybody has to play their part to win championships, Ish. And I'm a firm believer of that. Everyone has to have the right amount of conviction that they can win and they will win. Going into that tournament, we never really thought of winning, honestly. We just thought of competing and playing one game at a time. That was one of the discussions that we had straight off the bat when we reached South Africa. We said, listen, we haven't played this a lot. We just know that we're playing this right now, so let's just take this one game at a time and see where this goes. And that was exactly what we did till the quarterfinals. And once we got to the quarterfinals and we won the quarterfinals, we're like, hey, we're in with a chance. But let's just continue doing what we're doing because it's working. And then once we beat Australia in the semi-finals, and we knew we'd beat them, right? Because they were dominant at that point. They were the 50-over champions. They just won the World Cup in West Indies. And they were an extremely formidable side. Everyone were experienced players, Matthew Hayden, Adam Gilchrist, and Vicky Ponting, and Michael Clarke, Andrew Simons, dude. when you speak these names, saying that we beat a team at that caliber, you have to have more than skills. There has to be conviction as a group, and that was what was there. That was always there in that side. In that World Cup, the conviction is there, and everyone, not just the playing 11, not just the 15, including the support staff, including your logistic managers, the team manager, everyone had that conviction that we could do it. And that's what it takes to win tournaments. Not just one guy. Yes, you'll have a hero within a side, you'll have a few heroes within each team, but it's also the collective conviction of a group, which I think is extremely essential to win championships.
2007, being quite a young person, let alone young cricketer, I imagine you would have been only 20 or 21 years old.
Yeah, 20.
It must have been unbelievable coming back to India after winning a World Cup. What was it like when you got the reception back in India after winning a World Cup? 21 years old.
I didn't sleep for 3 days straight, man. We didn't know how to kind of comprehend the feeling of being world champions. First, it didn't hit us. It was like a shock, right? We were just extremely ecstatic that we beat Pakistan in the finals of a World Cup. But I think the enormity of that feeling of being a world champion kind of hit us when we landed in India. And brother, that feeling of landing in India and the reception that we received, Bombay doesn't stop for anyone, brother. Mumbai does not, period, stop for anybody. Right?
Yeah.
That day, the city came to a standstill. everyone, like the whole city, moved in the direction that the bus was moving. And I mean both lanes.
Wow.
Everything came to a standstill. And we went through all Indian weather, like all of India's weather in one day. So we reached, and it was a little like cold for Bombay standards. And then we got onto that open top bus. And then we started what would take maybe, with your police patrol and all of that, what would take generally about 45 minutes to an hour from the airport to the Wankhede Stadium, took us 5.5 hours, mate. It was 5.5, right? And we went through initially feeling a little cold, then went to being
cold in Bombay.
Yeah, just a little bit, right? Not too much, just a little bit. Then it rained, and then it got really humid. It got really hot.
Yeah.
By the time we reached the Wankhede, we were famished, brother. Because, but we were also like famished in this, and people were so kind at that point. I remember us crossing the Cadbury factory, which was on the way. At that point, was on the way to the Wankhede Stadium, the old Cadbury factory. And literally, people were throwing chocolates at us, apples at us, fruits at us, just water for us to drink, just so that we wouldn't lose the energy and keep the whole city going.
You, my friend, are a man of many skills with the bat, but I remember you bowling a ball, and was that during the bowl out against Pakistan?
Yeah, I was during the bowl out.
Who decided to give you the ball, and did you ever bowl before that?
I decided to bowl that day.
What? First time ever?
So, no, not first time ever. So what we'd done is we'd actually practiced the bowl out. And we've got to give credit to our bowling coach. Venkatesh Prasad was our bowling coach at that point, and Venki was someone who's very astute when it comes to these kind of things. He's very attentive to all the rules of the game and pays attention to all of the aspects that need to be paid attention to. And he was someone who's very studious in that manner. So when we had warm-ups in South Africa, and at the end of the warm-up, what we would do is he would tell us, let's play a game of bowl out, and the batsmen would play against the bowlers. And let's see who wins. And we played the game maybe 3 or 4 times, maybe 2 or 3 times, and most of the time the batsmen won. And the stump the most were Virubai, Rohit, and myself, the 3 of us.
Yeah.
So when the bowl out actually happened, and they decided that the bowl out was going to happen, I went straight to MS and I said, "Bro, I got a bowl." And bat and eyelid, she just said, "Sure, okay, bowl." And that kind of reinforced my belief that, dude, I'm going to hit the stumps. And because we'd never lost to Pakistan in the World Cup ever, right? So in that game, we got so close to losing to them. She bowled a very decent, a very, very good last over to Misbah again, I think. Yeah, and then got him run out. Like literally last ball, there was a run out that happened, and then Pakistan should have won that game. I don't know how what happened, but they ended up losing the game, and suddenly the momentum was with us.
Yeah.
For the last over, the momentum was with them the whole time, right? The momentum shifted in the last ball when that run out happened. And the fact that I don't like, just by looking at their performance in the bowl out, you could tell that they hadn't practiced it, right? And one of the things that MS did really, what he did differently from what the Pakistan wicketkeeper did was that the Pakistan wicketkeeper stood normally where a wicketkeeper would stand, right, beside the stump, right? Alongside the stumps. He wasn't behind the stumps, and MS was right behind the stumps, and that just made it so much easier. We just said we need to bowl to MS, and we give ourselves the best chance to hit the wicket, and that's what we did.
In terms of IPL, you're gonna come to a new franchise this year, and you've already played for 4 other franchises, right?
Yes, I have.
Yeah. So, are you looking forward to the new challenge of obviously a new environment, a bit of a fresh start? Are there any people in the Royals environment that you've worked with in the past?
I've worked with a lot of players, actually. Honestly, I've played against most of them, but I've played alongside quite a few guys within. I've worked with John Gloucester, who is possibly one of my closest friends in the cricketing fraternity. Someone who's been there, who's watched me grow as a cricketer, as a young guy who came into the Indian team and did well. We won a World Cup together, and he was a big part of that. And I'm honestly extremely excited about joining the RR franchise, especially after the first camp that I had. I've been around a few franchises, like you said, and the kind of welcome that each franchise gives is very different, right? It's very relative to how franchise works. And in my experience, KKR and RR have been like have made me feel completely at home. And I thought after KKR, because they set a really high standard with the way they treat their players, and they've been phenomenal. The city is phenomenal. The people of that city are unbelievable-ish. Their passion for the game, the love for the players who represent their franchise are amazing. And I felt like, man, that might be a void once I leave KKR. But the way I was received and welcomed into RR, man, made me feel like, dude, I feel like I'm not missing a thing. I haven't missed it, and I'm really excited about playing. And I was I'm extremely still gung ho about wanting to play the IPL and representing RR and winning matches for y'all. For us, I'm saying y'all winning matches. So yeah, I'm really excited, man, and I'm really happy, glad. Relieved in a way that I've left a great franchise like KKR, but I've joined such an amazing franchise like RR.
Did you see, much of the young guys that we have in the squad, some of the skills that they had, and are you hoping to, I guess, pass on a few lessons that you've learned over your career to them?
Oh, absolutely. I've seen, man, the kind of talent that I've seen with the youngsters has been phenomenal. And one of the things that I kind of I'm a little wary about is the fact that these youngsters go back into the auction next year, right? And you develop a few youngsters and you really want to keep them. And I really hope the franchises, different franchises, and it's not just RR, right? It's not just our franchise, but I think there are other franchises out there who develop players, who work with them from a younger age, and kind of groom them to be one of the best players in the franchise, right? For example, for me, Yashasvi is one of them. Karthik and Akash Singh are the other guys who are really, really good. For me, one guy who really stands out for me is Riyan Parag, man. That guy is incredible. I really think he's got a great future on his hands. The other boys as well, Yashasvi and the other lads as well. But I think if these guys can be stalwarts of Indian cricket moving forward.
You've loved kids for a long time. There's some old photos of Riyan Parag as a child with you, same as Shreyas. So it'll be great if we can get a couple of those pictures up.
Yeah, that would be great. As in Shreyas is like a younger brother. I love the guy. He is one of my most favorite people in the cricketing fraternity. And I've known him from I think since he was 5 or 6 years old. Glad to say that. He is one of the nicest guys in the fraternity. One of the sweetest souls, man. He's such a great guy, and someone
off the park he's sweet. Off the park he's the sweetest. On the park he's an animal.
He's fun. I love.
And he's cheeky, bro. He's cheeky.
Very cheeky. I don't play board games with him. I don't play cards with him. Outside of poker, we don't play cards at all. But I don't play Uno and all with him. The guy cheats all the time.
Oh no, man! He's
a cheater.
He's a snake, mate. He's a snake. He's undercover snake. He plays the nice guy, but
Yeah, he gets away with the nice guy.
Well, yeah, absolutely.
If he wasn't one, he wouldn't have gotten thrashed a few times by now.
Yeah, I know. Now, what's your favourite innings you've ever played?
I think my T20 international debut, the one I played against Pakistan, that first game of the World Cup. Actually, it was our second game. Our first game got washed out against Scotland, and that second game, I think that was possibly one of my favorite innings, simply because when I went in the band, I went in number 3, but in the space of 4 overs, we were 3 or 4 down, and to kind of bring our team out of that situation and put up a decent score to win the game. I think that I got a 50 in that game as well. So one was the fact that I could get the team out of a very good situation, and the fact that I got a 50 on my T20 debut was the icing on the cake. And the fact that we won the game, dude, and the bowler.
No.
That game.
What a game!
Yeah.
Now, if you were to pick one, wicket keeping or fielding, what would it be?
Wicket keeping, eyes closed. No question about it. I love it, dude. You can just add so much value to your team. From that place, you can be so much value to the captain, to the bowlers. You can understand how the wicket plays. There's so much you can do from there. And, possibly one of the things that I should have done. I think the fact that I could do everything was worked against me in the long run. If I could just wicket keep, I would have kept right from the beginning, because it's something that comes to me naturally, and possibly in some small way regret the fact that I didn't take up wicket keeping as a regular wicket keeper growing up.
That's quite cool. Hopefully it's something you do for a long time ahead. But all right, who's the toughest bowler you've ever faced?
I think the toughest one I've ever faced was Moni Morkel. Challenged me a lot just because of the height that he bowled from. Yeah, and then he didn't really swing the ball, and he angled and got the ball cut in and straight in, right? So for me, I found extremely challenging, and when the ball cut back in, it cut back in sharply. So Moni was someone who I found extremely challenging.
And what would you do if you were not a cricketer?
Play some other sport, man, for sure. And this was a lot of fun. I really enjoyed this. Thanks a bunch.
Yeah, brilliant, bro. Thank you so much, Rob. Take care, bro.
Keep well. Bye.
Legend. See ya.